Many thanks for staying with us. If you're just joining us, this is still Politics HQ on News Central Television. And of course, we are live across our social media platforms too. You can be part of us there. Now, at this point, we'll be looking at the internal crisis within the Labour Party. The Labour Party and its stakeholders meeting held in Umuahia, the Abia State capital, on Wednesday, appointed Nenadi Usman as the chairman of the Caretaker Committee of the party. The Caretaker Committee is to rescue the party from its current leadership crisis and organize a convention where a new leadership of the party would emerge from the ward to the national level. They've been given a 90-day window period to actually put all of this in place. Well, I mean, we are supposed to have joining me right now, CeeKay Igara is the National Vice Chairman of the Southeast Labour Party, of course, in that region. But he will be joining us in the course of the conversation. Now, yesterday, we also had the spokesperson to the governor of Abia State speak on this matter. And he did confirm that that meeting did hold and that salient issues within the party were trashed. Now, part of the issues being discussed is the way forward. The governor of the state actually did speak in that meeting, talking about Governor Alex Otti, who actually did convene the meeting. And he said the reason for the meeting is to define a way forward. Now, stakeholders within the party were convened by stakeholders. We're talking about government officials, those in office or those that contested, and other key and notable figures within the party. One of them, of course, happened to be Peter Obi, the presidential candidate, his vice, during the previously held election presidential election in Nigeria, and also, and notably also, his rival, that's the gubernatorial candidate for Lagos State, amongst other key figures that were at that meeting. They actually did conclude that the Abure-led tenure had expired and was not recognized by the regulatory authorities, talking about INEC, and for that reason, that administration, according to them, henceforth, is invalid. They also said the reason why they set up that caretaker committee is to chart a precise and direct course of action. The governor, that's Governor Alex Otti, actually also did say that the campaign of the Edo State Guba election, talking about the Labour Party candidate, Olumide Akpata, was in jeopardy because of the leadership crisis within the party. And for that reason, there was a need to protect the interest of not just the members of the party, but the party generally. Well, reacting to this, Julius Abure, the chairman of the party, actually did hold a press conference. And this, amongst a list of other issues, is what he had to say.
The National Working Committee also notes that assuming, without conceding, that the tenure of the current National Working Committee has even expired, we must state clearly that it is not the responsibility of Dr. Alex Otti as governor of Abia State to convene a next meeting for the purposes of setting up a caretaker committee. It is still the responsibility of the national chairman and the national secretary of the party to convene such a meeting.
Well, interesting times again within the Labour Party. Well, to discuss this, I have my guest now. CeeKay Igara is the National Vice Chairman, Southeast, for the Labour Party. CeeKay joins me virtually. Thank you for your time.
Thank you for having me.
All right, CeeKay, let me put this straight to you. What is going on within the Labour Party? Are you a divided party?
We are not a divided party. Number one, I want to thank you once again for having me, despite all the struggles we've been having to get connected to you. What is going on is just usual activities within the system that at times tend to strengthen the party because of divergence of opinion.
CeeKay, are you there? CeeKay, are you there? I think we, of course, are having a bit of issues connecting with CeeKay. CeeKay, are you there? Can you hear me? At this point, we will, of course, go on a quick break. When we return, we'll pick up. Do stay with us. Many thanks for staying with us. This is still Politics HQ on News Central Television. We apologize for the breaks, but we are having a bit of connectivity issues with our guest. Is actually CeeKay Igara, is the National Vice Chairman, Southeast of the Labour Party. But I think we have him now. Mr. CeeKay, can you hear me?
Yes, I'm hearing you now.
Okay, because, I mean, we are already pressed for time. Quickly, I asked you a direct question. Is the Labour Party divided?
Thank you for this question. Like I answered you earlier, Labour Party is not divided because we have only one national working committee. We have one national chairman, one national secretary. We are not divided.
So how do you react to the meeting that held in Umuahia where right now, caretaker committee was appointed, a 29-member caretaker committee appointed to chart the way forward for the party?
Well, we are all people who came to power or came to the position we are through democratic means. Since Nigeria is not a banana republic, we are law-abiding people. Labour Party are law-abiding people. Because we are law-abiding people, we believe strongly in the rule of law. And as it stands today, it is the National Executive Council of the party that should call any national meeting. By the way, if you go through our constitution, there is no place you see stakeholders. There is no place.
But at the meeting, I'm sorry to interrupt you. At the meeting, yes, that held, the governor of Abia State did say that the Abure tenure had expired since June 2024 and was not recognized by the regulatory authority, which is INEC. And that, according to him, poses a big threat, number one, to the administrative process of the party and not even the candidates who might choose to run, for office, in different capacities. How do you react to that?
Well, I have been involved severally, and I know that INEC does not have the capacity to legislate on the internal party affairs of any political party. What they need to do is to bring to the notice of the political party if there are things that are going wrong, not to instruct the party on how to go. However, I am aware that there is a court judgment that validated the convention of 2024, March 2024. And INEC, as a law-abiding organization and as a creation of law, they are bound by the court pronouncement, and they must obey court pronouncement and uphold the convention of the party. Mind you, on several occasions, INEC have rejected the candidates of several political parties, and they will take them to court, and court will force INEC to adopt and take them. That is at the extreme matter. But on our own matter, there is no reason for us to take that way, because according to the people that organize the stakeholders forum, they said the power ended by June 8th or 10th. If that is the truth, the power ended or came to a close around June, while the convention was conducted around March. So I wouldn't know which one is better, which one is good and appropriate. Since within the time frame, the party, the convention, the executive national working committee were still subsisting, and they conducted the activities of the convention under a genuine and subsisting national working committee.
I mean, talking about the convention, I'm sorry to interrupt you. The governor said he had been asking the question of those that attended that convention, the makeup of the convention, but he hasn't gotten any response as regards that. That who are those? Who are part of it?
As a matter of fact, the constitution of the party states clearly that the national chairman should call for a convention. And in that convention, delegates are to come from the states. And if you go through the constitution, you realize that anything that is not provided for, the National Executive Committee of the party
Mr. Igara, are you there? I understand that we, of course, are having a bit of connectivity issues with Mr. Igara. Now, CeeKay Igara is actually the national vice chairman of the Southeast, of Labour Party. But I think he's back. Can you hear me?
Yes, I'm hearing you.
Okay, we lost you for a moment. We'll need you to land briefly.
Like I said, Labour Party as a creation of law, INEC as a creation of law, we must do everything within the circumstance and within the circumference of law and rule of law. So we cannot, as a law-abiding organization, follow people to do things the way it shouldn't be done. Mind you, it is only the Constitution that guides the activities of every organization. And in this instance, Labour Party, it is only the Constitution that guides the Labour Party. And the Constitution of the Labour Party vests so much power on the national chairman to convene national meetings, national convention, national executive committee meeting, and national working committee meeting. It did not and will not vest such power on any stakeholder, no matter who the person is.
So you are saying authoritatively that as of now, the leader or the leadership of the party is headed by Julius Abure.
And that's the truth.
So what makes up, what do you make of the meeting that was held in Umuahia and the Caretaker committee?
Of course, let me tell you the truth. It is only a national convention that can remove any national officer. Only the national convention convened purposely for the removal of any national officer when the two-thirds majority have voted in favor of that. Outside this, every other thing is a nullity.
So what do you foresee as the next move, particularly from the Abure faction moving forward?
We don't have a Abure faction. We have the Labour Party led by Abure. There is no other faction. Do you have any national chairman? Or do you have any national secretary? So when we talk about faction, it's a figment of the imagination of those who are projecting this. Abure is the national chairman as it is constituted today and as affirmed by the competent court of law. We cannot say otherwise unless a court of law says otherwise.
All right, thank you so much for your time. CeeKay Igara is the National Vice Chairman, Southeast Labour Party. Once again, thank you for your time, CeeKay.
Thank you for having me, and God bless Nigerians.
All right.